The Google Pixel 4 is probably the most controversial smartphone released in 2019. Every previous Pixel has always gotten a swarm of complaints and bug reports, but they've also been praised for having some spectacular features that make it a great smartphone to use. The Pixel 4 joins that stereotype, but this time around, its issues may be too big of a compromise for most people. So let me first explain what they are, and then I'll tell you everything that I loved about the Pixel 4 XL. So the most significant issue that I had with the Pixel 4 is the battery. If you follow any tech YouTubers, I'm sure you've heard them mention that the battery life isn't all that great. Don't get me wrong, it's not horrible. Usually I'll get a screen on time of around 5 to 6 hours with moderate use, but nowadays those results are average, and I'd even go as far as to say that they are below average since the phone does cost $900 to $1,000. That's a lot of money. Flagships in this price range, such as the iPhone 11 Pro or Galaxy Note 10, provide a way better screen on time at around 7 hours. And to top it off, the Pixel 4's fast charging method isn't as fast as most of its competitors out there, such as Samsung's new 45-watt charging brick or OnePlus's Warp Charge 30T. The second issue that I had is that the screen brightness doesn't get as bright as I like it to get. It usually surprised me that it was at full brightness, even though it didn't seem like it was. The OnePlus 7T, iPhone 11 Pro, or Note 10, practically any other device released this year are all brighter than the Pixel 4. It's not that this type of display can't get bright enough, it's just Google intentionally lowered the amount of light that the screen emits, most likely to conserve battery. I think they should have just made the phone a bit thicker and thrown in a bigger battery capacity, but that's just me. You can manually increase the max brightness of the Pixel 4's display, but you will need to be rooted to do that. The third issue that I had was with the performance. Now, this one's tricky because most of the time the phone performs really well. The 90Hz panel provides a buttery smooth experience, and Google software really takes advantage of that Snapdragon 855 chipset to make the UI flow nicely. However, there have been a handful of instances where I have encountered lag on the Pixel 4, and when it starts to lag, it really lags. Scrolling through the interface feels janky, apps take longer than usual to load up, and sometimes the phone even freezes for a couple of seconds, and the only way to resolve it is with a reboot. That last one, by the way, only happened to me once, but it's still worth mentioning. The random drop in performance occurs more often when the device gets really hot or when the battery life is below 15%, and I didn't have battery saver enabled to interfere with the performance. Every other device that I've used in the past, even under those conditions, have performed just fine. It's crazy too because the first few weeks of using the Pixel 4, I've never once encountered a hint of lag. It's only recently that the phone started to act up. And this is scary because if it's already showing you a few signs of lag, then who knows how this phone will perform a couple of months down the line. Just something to keep in mind. A couple more things that I didn't like are that the max storage capacity is only 128 gigabytes. To some that may be more than enough, but it wouldn't have hurt to include a 256 gigabyte model or expandable storage, especially in this price range. Face Unlock works amazingly, it recognized well and unlocked extremely fast, just as fast as the OnePlus 7T or iPhone 11 Pro, but the screen will unlock even when your eyes are closed. So if you're sleeping, anyone can just grab the Pixel 4 and unlock it by hovering it over your face. Luckily, Google is planning to push out a fix, but there's no word on when they plan on releasing that update. Lastly, I'm really disappointed that they didn't include a wide-angle lens on the rear camera, considering that every other OEM has included one at least once. I can't tell you how many times a wide-angle lens would have come in handy. Those are all the issues that I encountered while using the Pixel 4. It's quite a list, and most of them are big compromises, but there were also a lot of things that I enjoyed using. Motion sense was a big one. It's nice to just reach for the phone and have it automatically unlock without needing to touch the device. Of course, it won't unlock at extreme angles, for example when the phone is flat on a table, but it's still a nifty feature that gets the phone ready whenever you pick it up and look at it. The only thing that I did find to be annoying is that the lock screen doesn't display notification content once I reach for the phone. To do this, I would need to disable skip lock screen in the Face Unlock menu within the system settings, and even then when I reach for the phone and the screen turns on, I still need to tap on the display to pull up the notification contents. Not a big deal, I just think it would have been nice to see the notification contents once I reach for the phone, because the majority of the time that's the main reason why I pick it up. The rear cameras are the strongest feature found within the Pixel 4. That's been the main selling point for every Pixel predecessor, and the Pixel 4 doesn't fall short at all when it comes to picture quality. Sure, the physical camera module on the back is controversial, but it could have been a lot worse. Just take a look at the iPhone 11 Pro. The Pixel takes the best photos when compared to any other smartphone, It's got incredible color accuracy, exposure, shadows, and contrast are well balanced. I even love that you can quickly fine-tune the shadows and highlights in the primary mode of the viewfinder. No longer will an object within a photo be too dark to see. Plus, even though Google included a 2x telephoto lens, they also enhanced the detail immensely when you take a photo at maximum zoom, 8x. That really impressed me since I've never seen a smartphone do that before. Camera performance at night was still top-notch with Google's night sight mode. No other OEM can provide the same type of night shots as the Pixel. The only phone that even comes close is the iPhone 11 Pro. Night sight has gotten a lot more accurate, and even after using the phone for so long, I still get excited to see the end result of what should have been a dark, muddy photo. Instead, it usually looks like something that was taken during the daytime, and for that cherry on top, the new astrophotography mode has made my jaw drop multiple times since it allows me to capture every beaming star at night. It just requires me to stand very still as the photo is being taken. So the rear cameras have been nothing but an excellent experience for me. It's feature packed and has the best picture quality. However, it does bother me that this phone still doesn't have an ultra wide lens and that you can't record 4K video at 60 FPS. The trio combo, primary lens, telephoto, and ultra wide would have made the camera the complete package. The second best thing found within this phone is the software experience. Google has never fallen short in this category, and the Pixel 4 has its own bag of goodies that no other competitor has. I won't explain every exclusive feature in great detail because there's just so many, but some of the ones that stood out to me the most include the new live wallpapers, which are also customizable now. I mean, they're beautiful, and Google has always created some iconic walls that are very recognizable. They've also made it easier than ever to customize the UI within the same wallpaper app. It's just nice to have everything in one place to quickly change the font, accent color, status bar icons, etc. Whenever I forget my headphones and I'm trying to watch a video without blasting the audio through my speakers, live caption comes in handy to automatically transcribe everything being said on my screen. I also freaking love the new and improved gesture navigation. It's very comparable to what iOS provides. Just swiping inwards from the edges of the screen to go back feels right, and swiping back and forth on the bottom bar to switch between my recent apps lets me navigate the UI a lot quicker. There's also a screen attention feature to prevent the screen from dimming or turning off when I look at it. I've never really used this feature since I set my screen timeout to 30 minutes, but it's perfect if you have it set to 30 or 15 seconds. Within the personal safety app, it can detect when you've gotten into a car crash, and if you don't respond right away, it'll attempt to call 911 for you and provide them with your location. And Active Edge to bring up Google Assistant with a squeeze of the phone is still a beautiful feature that I feel is usually overlooked. Overall, the software experience on the Pixel 4 XL is spectacular. Nothing surprising here, it's just something that you'd expect from a flagship released by Google, and as usual, you can expect the latest software updates immediately. Finally, I want to talk about the design of the phone. I can't deny that I'm in love with how it looks and feels in the hand. The smooth matte glass orange back and aluminum frame made the phone feel grippy and solid. For me, it's probably the most comfortable phone I've held in a while. The XL model isn't that big, so it fits perfectly in the palm of my hand. And even though it's a bit controversial, the squarish camera module on the back gives the phone a minimalist look, which to me is quite appealing. The only thing that I wish Google would have gotten rid of is those bezels on the front. It doesn't bother me that much. Trust me, the notch on the Pixel 3 XL was a lot worse, but it does look like a phone that would have been released in 2017. In the end, I'm not in love with the Pixel 4 XL, but I'm also not against anyone who's hoping to purchase it. It's got a lot of amazing features such as an excellent camera, software experience, solid design, 90Hz panel, motion sense, water resistance, wireless charging, and loudspeakers, but it's got some big compromises that come along with it. More specifically, the battery is mediocre, there's no ultra-wide lens on the back, it doesn't have a ton of storage capacity when compared to other OEMs, the screen brightness is below average, and to top it all off, it has a starting price of $900, which is upgradable to $1,000. Personally, I wouldn't choose this over the OnePlus 7T or Galaxy Note 10 Plus since they provide a similar experience, have a better battery, and a wide-angle lens, but it's a satisfier for that die-hard Pixel fan, or a great upgrade if you're rocking a Pixel 3 XL and want to keep those familiar Pixel exclusive software features. In the time that I use this phone, almost everything has held up well. The only thing that I'm a little worried about is the performance in the long run. Either way, that's my full detailed review of the Pixel 4 XL. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Drop a thumbs up if you did. Get subscribed with the notification bell turned on, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.